Six Podcast with your hosts, Larry Kaczynski and Danny Waiter. Get ready for some action. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pick Six Podcast. I am Larry Kaczynski.
And I'm Danny Waiter.
And man, oh man, we are now in week 3. The Thursday night game just got over about an hour ago. But before we get into this week, you know, I've been watching football for 30 years, and I thought I seen it all, but apparently I have not, because this season is just insane. Yeah. And I'm going to say this first. I have to mention, and they brought it up during Sunday's first. I don't remember what game it was that was on Fox, but there wasn't a game on Fox because it was just the Lions game on Channel 9. It was during that broadcast, the first half, from the 1 o'clock games until the 4 o'clock games, it was all kickers. They had like 4 kickers hurt. So you have punters doing kickers' jobs because they didn't have any backups. And then from the 4 o'clock games on until through Monday night was the quarterbacks. Holy shit. And we're going to dive right into it because I think this is probably going to be the one that takes up the most time. Because holy shit, this is just insane. And this season, like how we mentioned before the season started, on how it was going to be a very, very unpredictable year. And this tops it right here. And this is just unbelievable. So I already have, usually what I do is after we get done recording and we say our goodbyes and I head home and Danny starts working on the editing and everything like that, I go home and I write down, what we talked about, situations of this and that or whatever, and then I come up with the title for the episode. But I'm going to broadcast this episode right now, the title for this episode, because I think it's very important that I do so now. So basically, this episode is going to be called Quarterback Down with an exclamation mark, a play on Black Hawk Down, because this is just unbelievable. I mean, first, in week 2, you had Nick Foles going down with a broken collarbone. And then it just gets more fun from here. You got Ben Roethlisberger done for the season. You're going to be starting Kyle Rudolph. Did we have him?
No, that was Jake Rudock. Jake Rudock, not Kyle Rudolph. I don't even know who Kyle Rudolph is.
I've heard the name, but I don't know. But let's just start there. Ben Roethlisberger out for the season. Starting Mason Rudolph. The Jacksonville Jaguars with Nick Foles, Gardner Minshew. And I got to tell you, I watched some of the highlights before I came over. This is a sharp dude. Yeah. I never heard of this guy before, and he threw 3 touchdowns, and he looks sharp.
It's that mustache, man. He's got the 80s stash.
Is it more like the 80s Tom Selleck mustache or like the Ron Jeremy 70s porn stash?
Probably the porn stash with a little glitter added in.
Glitter. Gardner Glitter. There you go. We're gonna call him Glitter. I actually, if he does what he did tonight, dude, I think Jacksonville could bounce back until Foles comes back.
They definitely could, because their defense shut down the Titans. The Titans got one lone, I think it was a rushing touchdown by Derrick Henry, who was a phenomenal player, by the way. But they shut down the Titans all game. So I believe Gardner Minshew, Glitter, can probably bring them, like, just how Nick Foles did with the Eagles. I think this guy could potentially be a great backup quarterback. And I think he can really probably bring the Jaguars, I don't know, maybe playoffs. He looks good. He looks good for someone drafted in the 6th round.
And not to mention you took down the Titans.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this guy. And then, of course, oh, man. Next up, the biggest one for me, Drew Brees. Going down with a thumb injury. And I watched it. I watched the injury happen, and it didn't look that bad. But apparently what they didn't show is, I guess, his hand also hit the Rams defensive back's helmet, I guess, too. So that really didn't help much. But he had ligament surgery on Monday. They're supposed 6 to 8 weeks. But they're not putting him on IR, and they're going to go day to day. So that's a bright spot there, because I really don't want to see him miss 6 to 8 weeks, because Teddy Bridgewater, he can't get the job done. I don't like Teddy Bridgewater. They need to start Taysom Hill, because that dude's got a rocket, and they need a flip flop. Need to put Taysom Hill there and make Teddy Bridgewater his backup.
Because the thing with Teddy Bridgewater is that there's so many playmakers on the Saints, but he can't utilize that because he is a game manager. Those players are not game managers. They are take-over game players. Okay? Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, like, he can dump it off to them, but you need someone like Drew Brees to be able to give them that big play ability, whereas Teddy Bridgewater, he's going to make game management plays. He's not going to make that 50-yard bomb. He's not going to make that 20-yard catch to his receiver and, but it's the perfect spot where the receiver can go running for another 50 yards. He's going to do that. Oh, I'm going to pass it to this guy on the sideline, and he's going to go out of bounds. I'm going to pass it to this guy, and he's going to fall down for a first down. That's who Teddy Bridgewater is. He's not going to take over the game like Drew Brees or even Taysom Hill. I mean, that dude is great. He can play any position. Even probably could do offensive line, and he'd probably still be good at it.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm saying. That's why I really, really hope Sean Payton really thinks this through and start really working on giving Taysom Hill more snaps. Because, I mean, bottom line is Taysom Hill is going to be your guy. Teddy Bridgewater will not. I don't know why they decided to keep him. I think they should have let him go, but well, I'm not a GM or anything like that, so I can only voice my opinion. I was going somewhere with that, but Teddy Bridgewater. He has a tendency to throw the ball away a lot, and you can't do that. He'd rather take the sack. There are times, like I said, and I see this with a lot of quarterbacks, where if a play breaks down and the quarterback has to scramble, there's always a hole because nobody knows what the hell's going on, and you're running towards that hole. You don't see you're looking right at the hole, and instead of fucking running to get that first down, you throw it away. That's my biggest issue, and that's what Teddy Bridgewater is famous for. And I hate talking shit about the Saints because the Saints are my guys, and I hate going against them. But if they start Teddy Bridgewater, I have no choice. I have to, and I'm going to get flack for it. I already know that. So, T, I'm sorry, but without Brees, we're nothing. We had a little conversation about that, too. Even she's like, oh, I think we're done. I'm like, why? And I told her, I'm like, just put the brakes on, because if they start Taysom Hill, I think they'll be okay. I mean, it's not going to be a 13-3 season like they had last year. I mean, they're still in the hunt, in my opinion, if they start Taysom Hill. If they keep Teddy Bridgewater, they're done. They're not even going to come close to making the playoffs, and it sucks for me to say that because I love the Saints so much. But anyway, on to the next one. This was as of Monday. It was Monday. Eli Manning finally getting his just desserts, and he is benched. I love it. It's a great thing. It's about time. And we're going to see their first-round pick, Daniel Jones, starting under center this Sunday. And me and Danny talked about this earlier because we were talking about our picks, which we'll get into, of course, later on. But I'm really, really strict on giving the reins to a rookie quarterback because 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work out. We've had this conversation on the last podcast. Baker Mayfield, Kaiser, it just did not work out. So I, I don't see that as an improvement. I they're still gonna lose. I just don't know. What do you got to say about it?
Technically, you picked two players that played for the Browns, so that's never too good. But I agree with you. I do. Looking at a rookie taking the reins, that's pretty rough. That's almost like saying, "Yeah, you're ready to tank." But there have been some quarterbacks like Carson Wentz. Yeah, he's been injured in his career, but he's shown he has that ability to take over games. Patrick Mahomes, whether or not you consider last year, which was his sophomore year, his rookie year, because he didn't really play a game, he played phenomenally. And even Matthew Stafford, when he was a rookie, he played well, but he got injured, unfortunately. But after that, played, great. Few other ones. Andrew Luck played great as a rookie. Peyton Manning, even Tom Brady, he won them. He either won them the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl that year. I'm not quite sure. I know it was some prolific game that they were in, and they had to bring him in as a rookie, and
because Drew Bledsoe got injured.
Yeah. But I'm gonna give it to Daniel Jones though. I really think he's going to do a good job in New York because he doesn't have a lot of playmakers, but what he does have is Saquon Barkley. And as a quarterback, that's all you need. Literally, you can dump him the ball and he's going to get like 20 yards. I mean, I was watching the highlights of his game, and his offensive line sucks, okay? And yet he's still rushing for over 100 yards every game. He's still receiving 70 yards every game. And I know it's not good to compare real life to video games, but in Madden, I switched out Eli and I put in Daniel Jones, and the Giants actually went 9-7. And then in the preseason this year, he actually looked much better than all the other rookie quarterbacks. So, what's his name? Kyler Murray looked better than him. He looked better than Drew Lock. I can't really think of all the other. Oh, Dwayne Haskins. He looked way better than him. A couple other ones, but Daniel Jones, and then he's also the spitting image of Eli Manning. You look at the both of them, and it's like this is literally Daniel Manning. This is literally who it is. He has that vacant expression. He's got that same mentality as Eli. Sitting there with his mouth kind of open, like, is my brother gonna get 2 Super Bowls like me? I hope not, because then everyone's gonna love him again and not me again. Oh. But I am glad they benched Eli Manning. Not because I don't like him, but he's out there trying to make plays, but he just can't anymore. And it's really good that they're going to let Daniel Jones play because he's younger. He can learn from Eli instead of trying to learn from Eli while Eli is running for his life or, not being able to make plays because he's just getting too old for it.
Yeah, like I said, I've never been an Eli Manning fan, but he should have got out of the game a couple years ago. I mean, he had a couple of good seasons. Like he's one of them not forgiven, forget, but he's not that quarterback. He never has been, in my opinion. I loved Peyton more than I loved Eli anyway. I don't know. I think Eli just has to disappear. But I don't know. Like I said, I'll check out Daniel Jones, but I just, like I said, I don't like rookie quarterbacks taking the reins, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. And of course, the poor New York Jets. Oh my God. I watched the game last week and I felt so bad. I feel so bad for these guys because, one, Sam Darnold out indefinitely with mono. It's been that way since preseason. I think he got sick during that. I guess he's coming back, but only to help coach the now starting quarterback, who was the third. I'll get into that in a minute. Luke Falk, who actually he didn't look too bad. So I'm curious to see how this is going to end up working out. And the reason why I say third string is because during last week's game, Trevor Siemian got hurt in the second quarter, snapped his ankle in half. I watched the replay. I watched the game, and his ankle just went. Yeah, so he's done for the season too. Like I said, quarterback down. And yeah, so but on the bright side, not to mention, Luke Falk, which, like I said, I'm not familiar with him either, but they picked up a quarterback yesterday.
The Jets?
Yes, the Jets picked up a quarterback yesterday, and you know him too, as do I. None other than Mr. David Fales, who should have been our second string because the Lions fucked that up. So, David Fales is now a Jet, and I can't wait to see that. I'm looking very, very forward to seeing him play. I'm so glad he got picked up. And while we're talking about the Lions and letting people go, I have nonstop anger. It's like the Detroit Lions finally do something good. You beat the Chargers, which actually was a pretty good game. On both sides, both teams played well. But the Lions, holy shit, they were on. They were on like crazy, dude. Offense, defense, I'm not going to say special teams, Mr. Jamal fucking Agnew dropping a ball every goddamn game, but they made up for it. They kicked him out off special teams and put it Danny Amendola, which was a great move. Finally, they're thinking with their heads now, and that made me so happy. Agnew, get your shit together. Every game, you're dropping a fucking kick. You're dropping a return every game. And almost every time it's costing you the fucking football. Get your shit together. But that's not what I'm pissed off about. Monday, I went on NFL, my NFL mobile app, like I do every day, to check out what's going on, or finding topics to what to talk about on the show. Like I said, I want to be fair to everybody. I just don't want it to be Lions Corner. So, but we do have to mention this. In what world does it make sense to cut a 1,000-yard rusher by the name of C.J. Anderson and sign some no-name running back from the Giants? I can't wrap my head around this one. And it's like for every good thing the Lions do, they do 3 bad, stupid things to make up for it. I am beyond upset about this. I don't know what the hell they're thinking because of the fact that you have Kerryon Johnson and C.J. Anderson. I understand we have Ty Johnson. I'm not impressed with Ty Johnson yet. I only saw him a couple times in preseason. What the fuck is your problem, Lions? Why in the hell would you cut C.J. Anderson. And you know what? While I'm on this subject, okay, you let him go. You know where I want to see him end up, and I really hope they do because they really, really need the help, seeing as how they're getting rid of every fucking player on their roster. I want to see C.J. Anderson go to the Miami Dolphins because holy shit, there is your rebuilding running back right there. You want to start from scratch and get rid of all your players. Get a hold of fucking C.J. Anderson and have him go down to Miami. Because he would be an amazing starting running back for you guys and just totally plow ass with a running back. I mean, he's so tiny, and he's like he has the size of Muggsy Bogues. For those of you younger sports fans, Muggsy Bogues was a 4'9" basketball player for the Charlotte Hornets back in the 90s. He's tiny, but man, that motherfucker has power like Christian fucking Okoye. So to you Detroit Lions front office people, go fuck yourself. You're stupid, and I am very, very, very pissed off that you got rid of one hell of a rusher, one hell of a running back, and one hell of a guy. You fucked up with Zenner. I'd let that slide because we had C.J. Anderson. Now you got rid of C.J. Anderson. Now I'm pissed. The only way Ty Johnson better have one hell of a fucking season because you just cut one of the fucking greatest running backs, in my opinion. Not greatest, I'll say most underrated. Most underrated running back in the NFL. I want to see him get the spotlight because he fucking deserves it. He played fucking shadow to the Rams. He played shadow with the Lions, but at least they split. At least they split the difference between Kerryon Johnson and C.J. Anderson. C.J. Anderson deserves to be a superstar. He deserves that shining light. I say put him with Miami and start the rebuilding process with him. That's all I got to say about that. Lions front office, go fuck yourselves. You screwed up.
I agree that he is underrated, and this is why it's good because we always have something we agree with, and then we always have something that we disagree with, and we always, have facts to prove both sides. That's what I like about us doing this podcast. Now, with C.J. Anderson, I liked him. I'm glad we did pick him up because he did give tips to Kerryon Johnson. He gave tips to Ty Johnson. And, when we picked up J.D. McKissick, he also gave him tips as well. Now, the thing is that I was kind of shocked by the, cut as well. Why would you cut him when you have Ty Johnson who... Against the Chargers, he actually had a really good game. He had, 5 carries for 30-some yards, and then he added to the passing game as well. Same thing with J.D. McKissick. C.J. Anderson had 6 or 7 carries for 8 yards, and he didn't do anything in the passing game. And I was like, but why would you cut him? And then... when I saw those stats, and I actually looked into it, and the person they picked up was Paul Perkins. And the thing about Paul Perkins is that...
He hasn't done shit!
He hasn't been given a lot of carries. He hasn't been given a lot of opportunities. And I understand.
Here's your stats. Go ahead and read them.
Oh, yeah. No, I see the stats. 41 attempts, 90 yards, 2.2 yards per carry. 112 attempts, 456 yards, 4.1 yards per average. Yeah, I understand that. But he also contributes to special teams. C.J. Anderson doesn't. Okay, the thing is that you already have a bell cow in Kerryon Johnson. Okay, C.J. Anderson, he's that guy that comes in and he runs downfield, right? He runs people over, right? Like that's a fact. That's his job, right? As a power back. Okay.
This sound like migration.
And like
Fact.
it's a fact. It's second shift. It's a fact. Anyway, back to other than Anyway, Kerryon Johnson is one of the perfect mix of power back and not necessarily speed, but elusive back. Ty Johnson is that change of pace back. And when they put him in against a good Chargers defense, by the way, this isn't like some, this is a top 30 defense. This was like a top 15 defense. And the opportunities that he got, he outshined C.J. Anderson. Whereas C.J. Anderson, when he was put in, they stopped him. They stopped him. He gained a couple yards, stopped him. He had a good run, and that's where his 8 yards came from. But he's not good in the passing game, and that's where J.D. McKissick comes in. He had a really good pass to him that he made. And I believe the reason why basically the whole thing is that they want to give Ty Johnson more opportunities because of his explosive speed. While Kerryon Johnson is, bowling people over and spin moving everybody, that spin move was great too. He turned a loss into like 5 yards. That was great and got a first down. While he's doing that, Ty Johnson comes in and boom, one carry for like 6-7 yards real quick, just right there, and they don't even know what to do with themselves. And then boom, another carry for 10 yards. So, okay. Boom, he catches the ball, 10 yards. Oh. And then J.D. McKissick comes out of nowhere, and this is where I wish they would have kept Theo Riddick, because that's what J.D. McKissick is basically filling in for. But the thing about Paul Perkins is that they can have him, and they can kind of rotate him in because they believe, this is what they say, this is not what I say. They say he has a higher ceiling than C.J. Anderson because he is younger. But the thing is that he's a really good special teams player as well. C.J. Anderson, his role was basically diminished because Kerryon Johnson does basically what he does. He may not be as powerful, but he can still wear a defense down. They got Ty Johnson, who's a change of pace. C.J. Anderson is not a change of pace back unless you're either starting him as a power back, and that's the issue, and that's where I agree with you. He should be starting for a team where he is the number one running back. So if you think about it, this might be a good thing that the Lions did, because now he might go to the Dolphins and be that running back. So sometimes we don't know the whole story, and C.J. Anderson might have been like, hey, you got all these running backs doing all these different things. I'm just kind of here. I'm not doing too good. And the Lions like, yeah, okay. So how about we let you go, and then you can go get picked up wherever you want, and you can be the starting running back there. We're just going to pick up this guy. All right, that's cool. And so all of a sudden, what goes from a, oh, wow, this sucks, to, well, you know what? This is a better opportunity for both franchises, because now they don't have to worry about, oh, are we going to give him enough touches? Instead, they can go, okay, now we can mix and match all of our people because they all do different things. And then we can let C.J. Anderson go do his own thing on some other team.
Yep, that's exactly it. Like I said, that's my picks. I thought about that as soon as I got over the infinite rage that I had after I read that. I'm thinking, okay. I was thinking to myself, what team would be a perfect fit for C.J. Anderson? And it's the fucking Miami Dolphins. You guys need to get your shit together because you have been rebuilding longer than the Lions have at this point. I mean, Miami hasn't been nothing in the past 15 years.
They've given up.
I mean, my God, they gave up. They just traded away their last big defensive back this past weekend. So yeah, like I said, Miami, get a hold of the friggin' C.J. Anderson and make him number one and make him a fucking Pro Bowler because this guy deserves it. I love this guy, and it's just that's the way the ball bounces. But anyway, we have literally spent a half an hour talking about the quarterback situation, and we're slowly weaning off it. But let's go to the next section here, and let's talk about let's have a little review on the second week. Besides the quarterbacks and the kickers going down, I do have to make a very, very rare apology to Danny because of what I said in our first episode, first or second episode, where Baltimore's finished. Baltimore is amazing. You called it. You are right on the money. Their offense is just explosive. In the past, the 2 weeks, first 2 weeks of the season, and the fucking Baltimore Ravens have racked up 80-some points on offense and just killing it. Like I said, I watched the highlights, and Lamar Jackson, dude, I am very impressed. So, Danny, I apologize for saying that the Baltimore Ravens were going to suck hind tit. I was wrong. I'm actually looking for it to come down to the fucking Ravens and the Browns, which, like I said, is still weird to be saying that, seeing as how they were the same team 20 years ago. And I mean, holy shit! I can't stop watching the Ravens.
Oh, they're so good.
They are amazing. And like I said, if you go back and listen to that episode, Danny even called it that the offense is going to carry the team, and that is exactly what they're doing. And they are doing it the right way, and they are just whipping it. And they're whipping it hard. I wish I could say Enter Devo song here. But unfortunately, I can't do that. Whip it. That's right. Yep. And then, of course, the Cleveland Browns. I have to mention them. About time. They're getting that ball rolling. They looked fantastic on Sunday. That was an amazing game. Finally, they're getting their shit together. So I am, like I said, I'm sticking by my Browns. Because, like I said, I lived in Ohio for 5 years. I mentioned that before. Oh, that's the team that got me into football. You know, so watching the Cleveland Browns when they were something. You know, going for that AFC Championship game against the Denver Broncos. You know, I watched those games. I loved watching those games. You know, and oh man, it's about damn time. They're clicking, they're healthy, and they're hungry. This is going to be great. I can't wait for Sunday. Who are they playing anyway? Oh, we'll get into that when we go to our picks. What else was shocking to me that sticks out in my head from Sunday's games? Oh, here's one. The falling out of the Minnesota defense. That was a one-trick pony. After watching them in week 1, I'm thinking, hell yeah. These Minnesota Vikings are out for fucking fire here. Boy, was I wrong on that one. They took a nosedive really quick. And it was horrible. They don't know what they're doing. I don't know. Another downfall. The Falcons. The fuck? Pick it up. You barely won last week.
They faced the Eagles, right? Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
the Eagles that they faced.
Yeah. They barely beat the Eagles last week. Come on, Atlanta, get your shit together. I missed that friggin' rivalry. I want to see that. Well, we're not going to get it now until, because of the whole Drew Brees situation. But you guys got to pick it up. Snap into it, man. Pick it back up. Get back into that friggin' 11-5 skid. Get back into that shit from a couple years ago. I know. Fuck, man. Get back into it. And of course, the fucking Patriots. No matter what you do, you win. No matter what. And it's pissing me off. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing the Patriots. I'm tired of it. But here we are. We said that they were going to suck. Yeah, 2-0. I don't see them slowing down at all. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. The thing is with that game, like that game was on TV. I actually watched that one. Because unfortunately, where I live, they got rid of NFL Network a couple seasons ago. And it pisses me off because that's all I would watch all day, every day, all season, all off season. It's just NFL Network, NFL Network. I don't have it no more. So unfortunately, I can't. That sucks. But yeah, I watched that game. I saw Ben go down, but it didn't look bad. It's one of those weird things, like when you're watching, like let's say a NASCAR race, like the Dale Earnhardt crash that killed him. It didn't look bad at all. It was just like a typical hit. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. What? Ben Roethlisberger's hurt. What the hell? What? How? I didn't see anything that bad. And then the next day, season ending. Sir, what? Are you kidding?
That's rough.
But I think, like I said, Ben Roethlisberger he's been a mentor for years. But like I said, it's just the fact that it's very off-putting when they show a Pittsburgh Steelers game on TV that when his picture pops up, when they do the introductions, you look like a fucking fat coach. I'm sorry, Ben. I grew up with Ben Roethlisberger. Jesus Christ, he was, 2004? 2003, 2004? Was it? Something like that? I was in my 20s. Dude, I understand you love the game. I understand that. And this goes for fucking Tom Brady, too. But on Tom Brady, it's a whole new level for me. It's a different story compared to Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger, A, never forgot where he came from. 2, plays for the love of the game. Gives his heart and soul to the football. And I have the utmost respect for Ben Roethlisberger. But the fact is, dude, I think now Mr. Roethlisberger should really take a step back and think maybe I should step away. I mean, you signed a 2-year extension. This is the first year of his extension. So, personally, Ben, I would say, you know what? Let me retire and keep me on as a trainer, a quarterback, mentor, coach, whatever. Coach Kyle Rudolph to be the new Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, I can see that happening. I can see Rudolph becoming an outstanding quarterback because look who's training you. On the other side of the coin, like with fucking Drew Brees, with fucking Tom Brady, get the fuck out, you miserable piece of shit. A, you forgot where you came from. Michigan Wolverines, motherfucker. My fucking maize and blue. Yeah. Your Michigan State Spartans didn't fare too well Saturday.
Sorry. At least we didn't muffle on it.
We're 2-0. I'm not going to get into this argument. We're not going to college football here. No. No, I don't. Like I said, I don't follow college football enough to talk shit about it. But yeah, like I said, Tom Brady, get the fuck out of Dodge. We hate you. Michigan hates you because of the way you forgot where you came from. You decided to fucking turn into the fucking dynasty about money, cheating on your wife, and he's a total prick. You turn down your fans for autographs. You hate your fans. Therefore, we hate you. Get the fuck out of here, you prick. See, there's a difference. Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady. I would take Ben Roethlisberger over Tom Brady any day of the week.
Of course.
In my opinion, I don't care about Tom Brady. I did when he was with Michigan, when he played with heart, when he played for the love of the fucking game. He was one of the best quarterbacks Michigan's ever had. You're a dick. And I'm out of words on Tom Brady. Do you have anything you'd like to add before we move on?
I just want to say that first, I appreciate you saying, that you apologize, but you don't have to, because really this year has been crazy. I saw it, but you also were saying, I don't know if I can trust it because of the defense. So it's not like you were completely against it, you just couldn't trust it. I think the Colts are a shocker. I think for some reason Jacoby Brissett is just lighting it up for no reason at all. Probably just to prove that, hey, I can play. Man, the Steelers, I can't see them doing anything more than... I think I already said that they were going to be done this year. The Browns, I still don't see the Browns as being a super team this year. They got so many good players, but I still feel like so many egos, so many, different things, and I think it can really go 50-50 for them. I think if they want to win a game, they will, but I also feel as if they will also shoot themselves in the foot a lot of times because of so much superpower. Tom Brady, I don't like him. I won't use as many, profound words as, my co-host Larry here, but
I have no filter. Leave me alone.
I will say I don't like Tom Brady because he has 6 rings and he has nothing to prove at all. He doesn't need more money. He doesn't need anything. He doesn't need to keep playing. If he gets a 7th ring, it doesn't make him more of a GOAT. If you're the GOAT, you're the GOAT. It doesn't matter. Someone else can go get 7 rings, but you're still the GOAT technically.
But he's not.
Once you get the label, you get the label. It's just everyone's going to remember him as the GOAT. And so he can retire now, and people sleeping. He has the title GOAT. Even if you don't want it, you're going to know that people have called him the GOAT. So he's always going to be remembered as either, man, he's not the GOAT, or man, he's the GOAT, or man, he was the GOAT. So there's going to be 3 different ways people are going to think about him. And, that's the thing. His legacy is going to go down as he's the GOAT, he was the GOAT, he's not the GOAT. And so he has nothing else to play for. He doesn't even have to worry about the stats. Like, just leave. I mean, it's not you. It's Bill Belichick who is the key to the Patriots. Like, without Bill Belichick, Tom Brady would be a Nick Foles. He would be able to fill in, but he wouldn't be able to do what he does because Bill Belichick picks people specifically for Brady. If you watch all the players, they do committee for everybody. Receivers, Randy Moss and Rob Gronkowski were the only ones that were consistently like NFL greats. Other than that, Julian Edelman, he's good. Josh Gordon, he was great. He's just good now. He's got Antonio Brown. But they surround Tom Brady with people that do their job. Okay? And that's what makes Tom Brady good, is because they play to his strengths. That's what makes him look good. That's what made him win Super Bowls, because he could just throw the ball up and he knew his big tight end could catch it. He would throw it on a slant because he knows his guy that's running the slant is capable of getting more yards. He threw the ball to the sideline because he knows his wideout can catch it on the sideline, no problem. He may not be able to catch it on a slant, but he can catch it on the sideline, and that's the thing. And, man, he needs to go, and this season has just been completely unpredictable. I got lucky with the Ravens because, I saw the talent that they had, and I saw the different acquisitions they made, but, at the end of the day, it's just an assumption, it's just a guess. Like last week I went 8-8, in my picks, but that's just because, probably the 8 wins and the 8 losses, all of those probably were 50-50. I mean, you really don't know. It, and this year is definitely different than all the other years, especially with all the kickers you were talking about and the quarterbacks. You can't, you can plan for it, but you never know. So, I mean, I could have went 0-16, or I could have went 16-0. You just don't know. You can assume, and you can be highly accurate, but then again, there could be a dumb play where, they're about to, I don't know, they're about to kneel it 5 seconds left, and, they're going to win the game. Oh, somehow a fumble. Oh, somehow a field goal or a Hail Mary real quick. Like, really, that could happen this season.
Or a bevel timeout.
Oh, my goodness. But, you know what? They beat the Chargers. It was a good win. Did they come back? Yes, but their defense played lights out at the end of the game. And then I'm trying to remember his name now. Man, what's his name? The rookie linebacker. I can't think of it. I was talking about him in the last podcast. Jelani Tavai. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like they were like, okay, he comes from Hawaii, so, not many too big named players come from there, but he has stepped in. People were like, oh, he's second round pick, nobody knows who he was. And he's making everyone look silly. Like, he made the fumble, okay, on Austin Eckler, okay, at the goal line. And he's filled in perfectly for Jared Davis. And I can't wait to see what they both do when they're on the field. Like, that guy is really good. And I think they didn't even hit a home run. They hit, what is that what it is with the Grand Slam? The bases loaded. Yeah. And then their cornerbacks. I'm sorry. I know we try to stay away from the Lions, but it's like Justin Coleman is either the first or second best slot corner in the NFL, and that's what they traded for him. Okay, because he was supposed to be really good, and he's one of the best. Darius Slay made that interception. Our defensive line, all of them were coming off injury, but they're still playing as if, they didn't really miss a beat. And then once they actually get acclimated to the season, oh my goodness, you got Mike Daniels. They're even registering pressures now, and yet all of them were out for injuries or, snacks with the contract dispute. Like, they were out, and yet they're still performing as if they're above average. I can't wait till they get acclimated to the season and they start playing to their full potential.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, dude. And that's one thing that I am breathing a breath of fresh air, and I'm not meaning that as a pun, because I have been suffering from upper respiratory infection with borderline pneumonia. No. So yeah, I'm not using that as a pun, but it is a breath of fresh air to finally see a Lions defense they're a top 10 D, hands down. And back when we were going to be doing our breakout players, when we did a couple episodes ago, I really wanted to put Jelani Tavai on there, but I wasn't sure because of the whole Darius Slay thing. I didn't know if he was going to be in by the time for the week 1 started. So I'm like, because I was the same way when I was watching the draft on my phone. And I'm like, July to July, what the fuck? What the hell are these guys doing? I mean, I was pissed off enough they picked T.J. Hawkinson, which, holy shit.
I know.
This dude can do everything. He's the one that shocked me. Week 1. Fucking, what was it? Eight catches for 136 yards and a touchdown?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And second week, yeah, he only had 1 catch for 7 yards, but it's like they didn't need him in that game. He was there blocking, and everyone else had opportunities. And that's the thing. That's what I think is great about the Lions offense now, like Kenny Galladay, he had a big game. So they probably double covered T.J. Hawkinson, like, oh, let's shut him down. Oh, well, Kenny Galladay. Or Marvin Jones caught that bullet on 4th down from Stafford.
Not to mention Danny fucking Amendola.
Oh my gosh.
Did he tear that shit up last week? Holy shit. That one play, that pass to Danny Amendola, fucking 49 yards, ran it in for a fucking touchdown.
Week 1.
Oh, I thought that was week 1. I thought that was last week.
No, that was week 1.
Oh,
that was still
anyway, but that was still
juke the guy.
it was great.
Yeah.
But that was it. I'm like, I'm loving where we're going finally. But it's just the fact, are they going to stay?
Yeah.
That's the issue that I'm going to have with come the end of this season. If they can keep everybody and add to it in free agency, we're going to be there. It's just the fact, are they going to be smart and actually fucking do it that way? Because as it sits right now, we're definitely a playoff team.
Yeah.
If they can stay healthy and consistent, the Lions are on their way. Absolutely. Because I loved watching last week's game. I've never seen the Lions play equal football on all sides of the ball. Their defense was just as strong as their offense. And their offense was as strong as their defense. But like I said, that damn loose plug with Jamal fucking Agnew, I swear to God, if you drop one more fucking ball,
We will come to Fort
we will come to Ford Field and find you, and I will kill you. You're about to be taken. But anyway, yeah, I mean that's pretty much the only things that really stood out in my mind in week 2. Besides, well, actually, one more thing: the fucking Oakland Raiders finally, they're breaking the barrier. They're finally getting there. They're another one. I mean, I don't want to be premature here, but they're a sleeper. They're playing some damn good football right now. And, yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. Do you have anything else for the overview of Week 2, sir?
The only thing is that I don't want to put too much trust into the Lions because they have had seasons like this before.
Last year.
But they really should have, beat the Cardinals, but that's in the past. That's whatever, 0.5 basically for a win. But when it comes down to it, it can also be 0.5 for a loss. So, but I really think from here on out, it's going to be hard to really pick teams because of how different every team is. And I think the Patriots right now, they are facing defenses that, because I think anyone can put up 42, 43 points against the Dolphins right now. They got rid of everyone, even Kiko Alonso. Why? But anyway, let's see who else. The Ravens, I can't wait to see what they're going to do because, and spoiler, we're going to talk about Week 3 picks, but the Ravens look really good, and the Chiefs look pretty good as well, so I'm picking the Ravens, but you didn't hear me say that before we pick all the other games. But yeah, that's all I got to say about Week 2.
All right. Groovy. But yeah, like I said, you're absolutely right, and we've talked about this a couple times already during the week. That with everything that's happened in week 2, everything's going to be flip-floppity, probably for at least the next 4 or 5 weeks. Don't know what's going to happen here, man. Like I said, between the injuries on the kickers, the injuries on the quarterbacks, what's next? Is it the running backs' turns this week, or wide receivers? Or what the hell's going to happen this time? It's like, my God, this is like watching the Jerry Springer show. Oh, my God, this is insane. I just don't know. I don't know. This season, like when we called it on our very first episode, and this is our 4th episode now. And on our very first episode, this is going to be one of the weirdest seasons ever in NFL history. And holy shit, we're only going into week 3. And this ride has been insane. But anyway,
We are at 55.
55. Wow. We're actually moving pretty good this time. I guess all that's really left is to go through our picks for week 3. And God damn, is it hard. It is a bitch because usually what I do when I do my picks, I'll wait till Monday Night Football is over. I'll eat my dinner, whatever, relax. Be like, okay, it's Monday night. Okay, it's time to do my picks. So I'll do my picks Monday night. That way I'm ready to go for next week. I did not get my list done until yesterday. Wednesday. 3 days I spent trying to figure out this clusterfuck of what's going on right now. Okay, let's see here. I gotta bring up my phone because I threw away the original sheet because I just wanted to make 2 sections, your picks and my picks. So I threw away the games for next week. But I did, however, before I came over here, screenshotted them, so I made sure I had them to go. You got your picks brought up? Yeah. Okay, good. All right on. Oh, yeah, we can delete that one. Fucking Paul Perkins. I'm angry.
I mean, hey, he does have a high ceiling, so.
I'm angry. I don't give a shit. So, let's see. As you know, the Titans lost earlier tonight, so we're already 0-1.
Funny story, I actually picked the Jaguars, but I mistyped and I sent him the Titans. So we are both 0-1 because for some reason my brain was like, Titans! But my heart was like, Jaguars! And when I was watching it at work today, I was like, yes, the Jaguars are winning, yes! Not realizing that I sent him Titans. So, yay me!
Yep, and that's another thing. Fun fact already for you guys: we are 0-3 on Thursday Night Football. It hasn't been our year so far on Thursday Night Football, as we have lost all 3 games so far on fucking Thursday Night Football. But first up, here we go with our picks for this week. First up, we have the Lions at the Eagles. Again, I'm not totally there yet with the Lions. And like I said, that tie in week 1 against the Cardinals it's still leaving a sour taste in my mouth. I'm glad we beat the Chargers because, like I said, we have a rough road ahead. So, that's another thing I forgot to mention. The Jets do too. For the next 6 weeks, they have all 2-0 teams. So, Dave Fales, my man, you got your job cut out for you. And the other quarterback, yeah, it's rough. It's going to be a rough go. Yes, we have the Lions at Philly. I'm going with the Eagles on this one, just because, like I said, I'm not sold on this Lions team yet. They're looking okay, but I'm just not sold on it yet. Give me a couple weeks. Let me see how it goes after our bye week. because I know we got our bye week coming up in a couple weeks. So we'll see how these next couple games go before they go to break. But no, I'm taking the Eagles over the Lions.
Of course, I'm taking the Lions. Now, when they face the Chiefs, I might think a little differently, depending on the Ravens and Chiefs game. But regardless, I'm picking the Lions because I feel they made many improvements upon the first week game, which they should have won, but they didn't. But they cleared up some of those mistakes in week 2. The only thing is special teams, so that's what had me kind of debating which one, but I'm going to give the edge to the Lions.
But here's the question. Do you think they're going to keep Amendola on special teams, or are they going to find somebody else?
I feel if they have Agnew, because I think that's what you meant.
No.
Oh.
Agnew kept dropping those fucking returns, and they put in Amendola last week.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to keep Amendola on special teams, or are they going to put Agnew back?
I think they're going to go ahead and put Agnew back because in the meeting or the press conference, Matt Patricia said it was just an in-game decision, which makes sense because someone who just fumbled but it got called back, you wouldn't want them to be out there again because their mind is not there. I feel they give him this week as his last opportunity for punts. I think they keep Ty Johnson as the kickoff specialist, though, because of his explosive speed. And I think this is Agnew's final week as a returner. And I think if he does one thing wrong, Amendola will be the punt returner from here on out.
And then you can release Agnew. That's the way it's going to end up being. All right, moving on, and this one's a no-brainer, folks. The Jets at the Patriots. Oh, Jesus, this is going to be a washout. The Patriots are plus 73-point differential this season, the highest in the NFL. Holy shit. And it's just going to be worse because this is a washout game, folks. It's Patriots all the way, hands down, no questions asked.
Patriots.
Oh, yeah. See, that's all you need to say. Next up, we have the Raiders at the Vikings. Head coach John Gruden, keep in mind, has a 4-0 career record against the Raiders. But I'm giving the Minnesota Vikings another shot here. I really want them to tighten up their defense like they did in week 1 where they just dominated the Falcons. So, I don't know, man. Plus, they're at home. So I think this is going to be a very interesting matchup here, but I'm going with the Vikings.
I'm going with the Raiders because Kirk Cousins is not doing it for me. And Dalvin Cook is going to be good, but he proved that he cannot really play against a good defense. Like the Packers, they have a decent defense. They probably have a top 20, maybe top 15 defense, but thing is, I believe either Stephon Diggs or Adam Thielen had some type of injury last week. And so I don't see them beating the Raiders. I feel as if this game goes to the Raiders. I feel the Raiders are going to – I think it's going to be a close game, but I feel as if the Raiders will pull out. I'll just do a prediction. I think 21-17. Raiders on top.
Interesting. Okay, next up we have the Ravens and the Chiefs. Ooh, man, this is gonna be a damn good game. It took me a while to come up with who I was gonna take on this one because of the fact of how unbelievable the Ravens offense is, how unbelievable the Chiefs offense is. But then again, this is where it's going to show the lack of defense for Baltimore because the Chiefs' defense, not perfect, but they're better than the Ravens. So this one's going to be very interesting, and the Chiefs are looking for their third consecutive 3-0 start as well. So, I mean, this one's definitely going to be a good one. I hope they play. Oh, they're playing this one on CBS. Oh, it's going to be on TV. Oh, there we go. I get to watch that one. That's going to be great. But I'm always going with my Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs over Ravens. But it's not going to be 43-13. I'm picking this to be 43-40. This is going to be a very high-scoring game. And, I'm excited. I can't wait for this one. But, yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs over the Ravens because they're at home, too.
This is where I agree, but I also disagree because I believe the Ravens' offense will be more explosive than the Chiefs' offense because of Lamar Jackson's ability. He ran for over 100 yards and threw over 200 passing yards last week. So I give them the edge because he has the ability to run better than Mahomes. Mahomes is pretty good, but he's not Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is almost another Michael Vick, except I think better. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I got the Ravens, and I think, let's just say 32-28. Ravens on top.
Yeah, like I said, it's definitely going to be a close matchup for sure. Next up, we have the Falcons and the Colts. Note, the Falcons are 2-14 all time against the Colts. 2-14. But again, I have to give credit where credit is due. We talked a lot of smack about Jacoby Brissett saying, without Andrew Luck, they're finished. We're getting proved wrong on this end here because this dude is a boss. I don't know where this guy came from, but holy shit, Jacoby Brissett, I'm giving you my thumbs up on this one, but I'm still not taking you. I'm taking my Atlanta Falcons because I'm not giving up on them just yet. I think they're going to turn it around, and I think this is going to be the game to do it. Even though you're on the road, I think they're finally going to get starting to sync up a little bit. Because watching them from week 1 until week 3, I'm seeing them progress, but you're still losing. I mean, you're 1-1, but it's still ugly. You're not cinching it because if I'm not mistaken, they lost the lead last week. I think. I'm not sure. But, yep, Falcons over the Colts.
I got the Colts because the Falcons are going to have a really hard time with that defense. I mean, it's led by Darius Leonard. All the other players are not superstar level, but they are definitely a top 15 defense easily. And with Jacoby Brissett, I just remembered that I believe he was acquired 2 years ago, I think, through a trade during the season when Andrew Luck went down. And so what I'm thinking is that he learned from Luck last year because Luck played all last year. And then, he had the time to actually develop chemistry with teammates and he had the time to learn the playbook. So I'm thinking maybe we just had him out wrong. Maybe we just thought, he just sucks. Well, no, he just didn't have the ample amount of time to really show that he can do things. So that's why I give the Colts the edge because definitely their defense will keep them in the game, and I think Jacoby Brissett will do a little more than Matt Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, man, yeah, I apologize for that one too, man. We're shitting all over Jacoby Brissett before he even played, and this guy's throwing almost 300 yards a game. I'm very impressed, man. Next up, we have the Broncos at the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is 12-2-1 in his last 15 starts in Green Bay. I don't see that changing, so I'm keeping with that. I'm going with the Packers over the Broncos.
I just have 2 things to say. 3 things I have to say. I'm picking the Broncos. The second thing, the Broncos defense. The Bears barely made it out alive their kicker barely pushed it through. They did, but the Broncos have stopped the Bears' offense, even though the Bears' offense doesn't look good. The Packers do not look good. Okay? Yes, Joe Flacco doesn't look good. Drew Lock, we don't know. But Aaron Rodgers does not look good. Okay? If Jimmy Graham didn't rip the ball away from the Bears defender, they would have lost the first week. And then against the Vikings defense just kind of collapsed for some reason. And Aaron Rodgers is just, he's not him. You watch him play now, and he's not him. And I just don't see him overcoming Bradley Chubb and Von Miller on defense. Plus, the offense for the Broncos is pretty much because Joe Flacco, he may be washed up, but he's proven. He's won a Super Bowl before. You know, he knows what it takes to win. Do I like him? No. Do I think he's really a winner? No. But do I think he can beat the Packers? Yes. So I give the edge to the Broncos.
All right. I have to disagree with you there. Ooh, hello, I got a microphone down my throat hole. Oh, that was very good. I have to disagree with you right now on Aaron Rodgers. In the past 2 games, he's thrown for almost 300 yards on both occasions. So I can't say that he's... Yeah, he has.
Stafford has more passing yards.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, bring it up on your phone, 'cause I'm pretty sure he passed for about 284 last week. Or maybe even both weeks. But anyway, I think Aaron...
412 passing yards and 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. 412.
412. That's it. That's not Aaron Rodgers.
It's better than the Aaron Rodgers we saw last year. Because that Aaron Rodgers was downright horrible. But anyway, moving on to the next one. We have another washout game. The Miami Dolphins and the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, absolutely. This is the Cowboys all the way. Danny doesn't need to say it. I don't need to say it. But Josh Rosen is making his first start with the Dolphins. It's not going to matter. Yeah. This does pose a question, though. Seeing as how the Miami Dolphins got rid of everybody, do you think that they're going to be the next 0-16 team this year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very succinct. I was expecting them to go more. I see that happening. I'm sorry. The Lions, the Browns, then you're going to add the Miami Dolphins this year to that 0-16 label. Oh, man. Like I said, Miami, get a hold of C.J. Anderson. C.J. Anderson needs some work. Make him your starting running back. You get on that. So, yep, it's Cowboys on Cowboys on both sides of us on this one. Next up, we're going, which I think might actually be a pretty good game. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. I'm definitely going with the Bills on this one. Like I said, I mentioned this in the first podcast. I think the Bills are going to be there this year. I think they might take the division. And I'm digging what they're doing right now. And they're also seeking their first 3-0 start since 2011. So yeah, dude, I'm totally on. I don't know what's up with me. I'm switching to the AFC all of a sudden, and it's really weird. That's where I started from. Well, like I said, watching the Browns games and the Raiders games, the Bills games. It was AFC where I was from. Well, I'm originally from here, but I didn't start watching football until I lived in Ohio, and it was all AFC games. So I was a really big AFC fan. And when I came down here, I started watching all the NFC games. And I started going with A. I'm flirting back to the AFC for some reason. I love what the Bills are doing. Massive improvement over last year. I'm digging it, and I can't wait to see where this is going to go. I really see them taking the division. Maybe first round bye. I'm not too sure about that yet, but we'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited for this just as much as I am for the Browns. But yeah, I'm definitely going Bills over Bengals.
I'm going Bills as well because Andy Dalton's first game of the year, he went for, I think it was 400 passing yards and like 3 or 4 passing touchdowns, but that was a fluke. And last week they got pummeled, so I have the Bills because they're doing great, not because of Ed Oliver, the one that they drafted on defensive tackle. I think they're doing great because they have so many pieces on both sides.
Absolutely. And, I thought for sure that when I read that one on our last episode about LaShawn McCoy getting released, I thought that was it. I really did, but they are proving me wrong, and I love it. I got the restore in the Buffalo Bills, so hopefully, hopefully, they can go to the fucking Super Bowl and actually win it this time, instead of 4 straight losses in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I know, right? And our next one, me and Danny here had a quite extensive argument over this one on Messenger earlier today. The Giants and the Buccaneers. I'm taking the Bucs all the way on this one. It's not because of I don't trust Winston. They're playing better football. And like I said, I'm hard on rookie quarterbacks. I don't know enough about Daniel Jones to say, yeah, I think Daniel Jones is going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I can't say that because I have no idea what he's capable of. And number 2, the Buccaneers are at home. They play well at home. I don't see the Giants beating. I'm sorry.
I have the Giants winning because, one, Saquon Barkley is a phenomenal talent. They have a decent defense, not enough to win them games, but enough to keep them in games. I believe Daniel Jones could be not a spectacular quarterback, but definitely what Eli Manning was when he was younger. Like, he's literally the spitting image. But I really cannot trust Jameis Winston because he's proven that if you trust him, he's just going to throw 6 interceptions in a game and just regress horribly. And if he's on, then he's on. But more often than not, he's not on. So I got the Giants winning.
Alrighty, fair enough. Now, the next one. I have to talk a little bit about this one before I pass it to you. The Panthers and the Cardinals. The Cardinals are seeking their 3rd consecutive home win against the Panthers. But here's the thing. Cam Newton. You've mentioned it. I've mentioned it. Can't trust Cam Newton. Can't trust Cam Newton. This is the last one for me. There's no reason why Cam Newton is doing what he's doing. And seeing him, like, wearing dresses and shit now, or whatever the fuck is going on in his head. For those of you listening to this that are older, there was a little show in the 70s called MASH. You remember Maxwell Q. Klinger? It's Maxwell Cam Newton. Wearing women's dresses. What the hell is wrong with this guy? But this is my last one. And I've mentioned this before, even with buddies at work, about Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. I feel bad for Travis Kelce right now. Or not Travis Kelce. What the fuck am I talking about? Fucking what's his name? McCaffrey. Right?
The running back?
Yeah, McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey. I feel bad for him right now. I don't know why I said Travis Kelce. It's the wrong fucking team, Larry. Jesus Christ, man.
Wrong position.
Wrong team.
Wrong everything.
Wrong everything. I feel really bad for Christian McCaffrey right now. Oh my God, I don't know. This is the last time for me, but I'm going with Carolina over the fucking Cardinals.
I got Carolina as well because their defense is great. Maybe not great. Luke Kuechly is great. And they're their offense, even if Cam's not doing well, they got Christian McCaffrey, who I think last week he racked up over 200 all-purpose yards, and I give them the edge because really the Cardinals just don't have anything. The Lions, first week, they got tired at the end. They got, out-coached at the end because of some stupid calls. But I really don't think Kyler Murray is going to live up to the hype. So, yeah, I got Carolina winning.
Well, like I said, and I've said that I've said that ever since the first episode too. Kyler Murray's all hype, man. And after watching him actually play in the first game against us, he's too short. He's only 5'9.5", and we batted 7, 8 balls that game. He's too short to be a quarterback. And I had a little joke, but we didn't get a chance to record. I put, that one song. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. and that's exactly it. Kyler Murray's just too short to be a fucking quarterback. He needs to be like a wideout or something like that. But because he can jump. I don't like Kyler Murray. No, it's not going to happen. And here's another bummer of a game. It would have been a good game if Ben Roethlisberger didn't get hurt. The Steelers and the Niners. Oh, man. A Ben Roethlisberger Steelers against the Garoppolo 49ers. That would have actually been a decent game to watch. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Finally, Garoppolo's getting off his ass and passing that football. And I'm very happy with the way things are going in San Francisco right now. I'm taking the Niners over the Steelers.
I got the 49ers as well because they look like a complete team, and their defensive front is phenomenal.
Absolutely. And now this comes to the game that hurts me to the core. It hurts so bad right now. And it sucks. I'm going to be saying what I'm going to be saying. The Saints and the Seahawks. The Seahawks have won 6 straight home games. It's going to be 7 now because there's no Drew Brees. And you're starting Teddy Bridgewater. Not good. If they would have started Taysom Hill, I would have went with the Saints. But unfortunately, I have to go against my team now. Thanks. Sean Payton. Psst. Start Taysom Hill. Please. I'm going with the Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks because with Russell Westbrook, there's just he can just make plays. He can just make plays, and he's doing it without Doug Baldwin. He's doing it with some random players. Chris Carson is going to be a good running back. He's definitely a powerhouse. And without Drew Brees, the Saints just can't really win. I don't hate Teddy Bridgewater, but he's not a Drew Brees. So I got the Seahawks.
Yep. Taysom Hill is a better option, Sean. We'll see what happens next week. Hopefully, that could change. This is going to be another fun one. The Texans and Chargers. The Texans have allowed 4.5 sacks in 8 consecutive games. Think about that. I see the Chargers rebounding from the Lions' loss. They're at home. Everybody's healthy. Everything's good. And that stat is what stuck out in my mind. So I'm taking the Chargers over the Texans.
All I'm going to say is the Chargers have Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins and Carlos Hyde. That is all. I meant the Texans. I have the Texans winning.
There you go. Thank you. And next up, we have actually, and this might actually be another good one. We have the Rams and the Browns. Another note: this is the first Sunday night game in Cleveland since 2008. So 11 years. I almost went with the Browns on this, but I just don't think they're there yet. Like I said, they're clicking. They're finally getting their foundation. After watching them play last week, they played phenomenal, but they're not at that top tier yet. So I am going with the Rams over the Browns.
I'm also going with the Rams because I can't trust the Browns. I can't trust the Browns with a rookie head coach and all that star-studded talent surrounded, and I just can't trust it. There's too many egos. There's too many captains on the team, and you got a rookie head coach, and I give it to the Rams this week.
Well, like I said, everything takes time. I've been excited about the Browns since the offseason, about all these massive transactions, all these awesome players that they got. I'm like, this could finally be it. As long as they're coached right, everything's going to be good, and you're going to be seeing the Browns win the AFC North Championship. And I still think that's going to be the case. I think they're there. It's only week 2. We're in week 3 now. We got 13 weeks to go. So there's plenty of time there, and I definitely see them taking the AFC North. I'm sticking by that. I'm loving the Browns. I'm passionate about the Browns now. I said I've spent 5 years there. I grew up there. I'm so happy. I'm excited to be in the dog pound once again. And finally, Monday Night Football, we have the Bears at the Redskins. This is going to be a wash. I'm taking the Bears over the Redskins just because, that little guy, Case Keenum. No. I just don't see it. Redskins are going to be 0-3. And the Bears will be 2-1. I'm definitely taking the Bears.
I'd rather the Bears lose. I'd rather all of our division rivals lose, but I'm picking the Bears because they don't really have a quarterback. Case Keenum, he's all right, but they don't have anyone to throw to. Dwayne Haskins, he could be good, but they probably won't start him. The only good player on defense is Ryan Kerrigan, and he's getting older, and he deserves a ring, and I think they should trade him, but I have the Bears.
Absolutely. Hands down. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's not that I try not to pick the teams that are in our division because it's not going to happen. They're not going to all our teams in the division aren't going to go 0-16, It's like, Lions are going to take it, everybody's going to be 0-16. I feel like I said, like I mentioned this before, I think the Chicago Bears have been underrated for years now. I love Trubisky. Like I said, I've mentioned him, but I mentioned him before. I mentioned what he can do and what he's capable of doing is being a leader on the Bears. His stats improve instead of going down, 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 down. He plays better football week in, week out. He has that potential of being up there with the Tom Brady's and the Patrick Mahomes'. He has that opportunity. He's just not that household name. Like when you say NFL, who's the first player that comes to your mind? Obviously, it's fucking Tom fucking Brady. Because you know what? I think this is why he's still there. He wants every record for himself. He wants every little goddamn. I'm done. I'm done with Tom Brady. I don't want to get back into this. I spent fucking 10 minutes talking shit about him anyway. I'm done with it. So, but yeah, those are our picks for week 3. And if it's anything like week 2, Jesus Christ. But I'm thinking what we're going to do, if we can get away with it, I'm going to record Wednesday and Sunday nights. That way everything's caught up with the exception of Monday Night Football, but that'll be covered on the next podcast. So that's what we're going to shoot for. I don't know if we're going to be able to, but we will definitely be, our next episode will be on Sunday night after Sunday Night Football, which again is the Rams game. So we will see what happens with that one. I don't know. Like I said, if you had to pick one game to watch, what would it be? I'm gonna have to go Ravens Chiefs as my game to watch. I think that's gonna be unreal. Do you got one or no?
Let me think. I think the Colts and Falcons are the ones that we should probably watch.
Yeah, that'd be a good one too. Absolutely. That one's going to be unpredictable too. All right. Do you have I don't know. Do you have anything else? I think we pretty much covered everything on this one. You got anything?
No, I'm good. I think it's time to put it to a close.
All right. Yeah, hour and a half. See? Well, it takes us forever. See, I'm like, we were breezing through about, but once we get to our picks, it takes a longer time. So we're going to call it a night here, and we will be back Sunday night after Sunday Night Football. So we're going to be recording probably the same time, about midnight, 1 o'clock, somewhere around there to talk about all the action and possibly more screwed up shit that we're probably going to end up seeing on Sunday. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Larry Szynski.
And I'm Danny Waiter to tell you to take it for a touchdown. Have a good night.